So I was recording the video about this example, and 2 times inside the video, Siri stopped me saying, "Hi, hello, what do you want to know?" Or, "Oh yeah, the Villa Roja in Spain is blah blah blah," or "Tell me everything." I'm like, I didn't even call you. What do you want from me? So I had to actually redo the video. I'm redoing the video because of that, because it screwed my video. So anyway, in this example, I'm going to tell you all about action chaining. So I think I presented to you before how the actions are working, but I'm going to show you how really it works and how you can do it, for example, for your custom action, custom JavaScript action. So one question that has been asked, I don't remember it was by on the communities or by Dave, is do we have a confirmation window? Like, is that, do you really want to do that? Or what is your name? Or something, yes, no, confirm, cancel. So I have two flavors of it. One is codeless, so you don't have to code anything. So the goal is simply to, here I'm setting a property. So I'm setting this field to nothing. I'm calling a view, which is going to be my confirmation view. I'm going to set the property of this field with this value, and I'm going to display a pop-up. And I want that path, set property and show BMC RX alert, to be only be taken if we confirm. If we don't confirm, if we click on cancel, I don't want those two things to happen. So how can I do that? So here, I'm opening the view confirm view. I'm passing a title, I'm passing a message. So I have a confirm view window I created because we don't provide out of the box this object. So I have two RTF fields, a yes and a nah button. So here in the RTF, I'm passing the input parameter for the title. Here I'm using the input parameter for the message, so which are two view input parameter. And so what happens is when I click on it, when I click yes, see here the field is empty. Click yes, I got a message. If I click cancel, I don't have anything and I don't have a pop-up message. So the trick is in the yes and the no button, you've got in both cases a close view action. In the case of yes, we just have a close button, so it will just close the view. In the case of no, which is pretty much cancel, it will act as cancel. Act as cancel will mean that the action went wrong. Something went wrong with the action, with that we decide to cancel anything that comes after that. So what's going to happen is here we are setting the property, I'm opening the view. When it comes back, close the view. I'm just continuing. If it's coming as close act as cancel, it means that okay, I'm asked to just drop whatever I'm doing right now and I don't want to continue my actions. So that's how it's working. So in this version, I'm going to show you how you can do it with a custom action. So let's say you created your own confirmation window, or you have something a bit elaborated, like is doing a REST API call to get some data. So you can, for example, you want to create a new login and you've got a REST API call that's checking that the login is available, some kind of stuff like that, some kind of validation. I'm going to show you how you can make it wait, because in our previous example, it was asynchronous, meaning that when you were calling your action, it would immediately send a value back and it would just continue the chain of actions. Here I want to stop and wait for my custom action to send if everything went okay or not. So how to do that? So you can see that I created a custom action with an input parameter. So when I'm clicking on it, I'm going to display a confirmation window with the message, so I'm passing it. When I click on cancel, nothing happens. When I click on OK, I got a message, and here I got a text. And you can see that this text is actually the action result. So here I got my action, and the action result is an output parameter of my custom JavaScript action. So how is that working? So here, if you want to see how an action is working, it's very different from a view component. So you should look at the other video. I explain in detail how it's working. So here you define only the input parameters in an action. So I have message. When the action is executed, I got my input parameter. I'm opening the dialogues object, type confirm with the title and the message. The then is going to be called if I click on OK, validation. This part of the code is going to be called when I click on the cancel button, so the fault path. So the happy path is I'm going to return the output parameters with the message it went OK, which is a message that we have here. And it's going to go here, from here to there, get output parameters. We're going to return $q.when and the output parameter. So $q.then is an object from AngularJS, which means, oh, here it returns a promise. It returns a promise based on this object. It returns the promise in the happy path, in the correct path, in the validated path. So if I click on cancel, it will go here, and I'm going simply to say, well, $q.reject, which means return the promise, but saying it failed. So it will go on the error path. So it's pretty much like this one. We could say it's a closed view, not act as cancel, and this one is act as cancel, closed view act as cancel. So when we return $q.when, so that means that, okay, everything went good, I can continue in my chain. When I send back $q.reject, it means that something went wrong. I just have to skip and don't execute the next chain of actions. So if you want to return it synchronously, that's how you need to do. This way we return synchronously. If you want to do something that is asynchronous, you could look, for example, for some code here, and you directly return $q.when or something. And here, for example, you could do, let's say you could call a REST API that is going to take a very long time, or you trigger, for example, a command on the backend, I don't know, indexation or sending emails and stuff, and you don't want to wait for the result, you don't care, it's a fire and forget. You would call the REST API and you return directly $q.when something, or you do like return that and that. So if you do that, it's not synchronous, so it will always reply yes, basically.